Our next speaker is Dr. Julia Tan Yin Yin, Senior Lecturer, Faculty of Language Studies and Humanities, Human Development, University Malaysia of Kelantan, Malaysia. And Dr. Julia Tan Yin Yin has published books Mandarin 1, 2, and 3, and published several book chapters and journal articles. And Dr. Julia Tan Yin Yin has many international academic experiences and leadership skills. And her award, recipient of Leadership Awards in Second Residential College University, Malaysia, and her working experience, part-time experience as journalist and certified teacher, copywriter and advertising executive, and part-time survey officer, and she has several years of teaching experience. Now I hand over in this section to Dr. Julia Tan Yin Yin. Ma'am, please unmute your mic.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. So it's my pleasure to join this conference. First time in India. I have once published one of my paper about why the non-Chinese parents in Malaysia send their children to the Chinese school. So that paper was also published in India in Researcher World in 2015. Okay, so without further ado, I go to my topic today. So I would like to share with you all the qualitative method because what I interested to do is qualitative method for my master and also PhD. I did my PhD in China, Xiamen University. I did something on advertising, YouTube about Chinese brand handphone. So I did an interview and focus group on Malaysian consumers, why they buy Oppo, why they buy Huawei. So that was my a little bit experience in qualitative method in my master and PhD. Today I want to share with you all is ethnography as a method. So what is ethnography? Ethnography is sorry, I forgot to share my slide. Okay, so ethnography as a method. You can see some keywords here like, so what related to ethnography? Anthropology, acculturation is like we study a group of people. We try to understand them. And we find some important findings through our prolonged period. Maybe we visiting them often, or we stay there in a village, and we can see this kingship about a group of people, and then field work, and then how we interpret our data, how we interpret after we participate in let's say their activity, their festival, and we study what's the dilemma the group is having, and it's a phenomenology. Okay, and then we as a researcher, Okay, so and last is our data representation and how we code it, coding, because qualitative is about coding. And then in ethnography, we study community and their culture. Okay. Okay, so what is ethnography? Is start with first and foremost is an idea. So we are the researcher. We are the one part of the social setting. Let's say in a village. Let's say in a remote Chinese village in Malaysia. So imagine you are in Malaysia now. So you need to go to research, do a research in the Chinese village, in a very old remote Chinese village in one state of Malaysia. So probably we need to stay there for a prolonged period, let's say 1 month, 2 months, because you need to stay together with them, be their friends. Okay, then we will understand them more. So our method is this ethnography method is we need to be a participant, okay, in the village. We need to participate inside. We cannot just sit there and then sit aside, don't do anything. We need to active and then observe them, okay, observe them, and then with a variety of other methods. Let's say you observe first, then after that you may interview them, okay, interview them or be part, join them their activities. Okay, what's our goal or objective of doing ethnography? Is to understand their culture. Just now I already said now we travel to Malaysia in a Chinese village. Okay, we need to understand what's their culture, what's their norms and values, and social environment of the group. Okay, so we need to understand the social environment. What's the environment inside the village? Yeah, today is Mid Autumn Festival in Malaysia. In India, Chinatown, they are celebrating, like they light up the lanterns, they eat moon cake. So yeah, so you become part of the festival if you go there. Okay, then the content is um, both method and written product. So last we need to write up our ethnography input. So become so these are the characteristics of ethnography research. Has a cultural team and there's a cultural sharing group. Okay, cultural sharing group, and then we need to understand their behavior. Okay, behavior stands for how they react, what's their action, their activities, like what they do today. They eat mooncakes, they light up lantern, they gather together, family gathering. And what's their events? Maybe there's a lantern festival in the village. Okay, so all these are the behavior of that group, that cultural group, Chinese cultural group. And we also see their patterns of belief, what they believe, which God they pray to, the Buddha or Christian or Islam, okay, and what languages they are using, which language they talk to each other. So we need to do the field work. Then we get the themes from the interview and also our observation, and then lastly we interpret the data. So we need to study the context or setting. Means where is the thing happen? Where is it? In a village in Malaysia. It's a Chinese village. That's the setting. Like how big is the village? How many houses inside the village? How many people staying there? Okay, then at lastly we reflect. We do like field notes. So first this act, right, their behavior, right, so the behavior is from the actor. This one is the actor of the group or the group of people. So this one is the space, where's their setting, the space. Okay, a village or a metropolitan city. And then what's inside the space? Okay, you can what can you see in the village? Maybe three temples. So what god are they worshipping? Okay, and how's their houses look like? Together, or one house very far and then another house, and then where's the temple? Let's say you can see river beside the houses or paddy field. Yeah. So whether train station is there. Okay, so the arrangement of the space you need to jot down. Okay, you can draw or you just jot down. Okay, so after that, after observation, you can do interview. Okay, before this, I go to. Okay, so just now we said what we observe, right? There's a few observation. Okay, direct observation or unintrusive means you don't disturb them. You just observe, decide, or just join in, but you don't disturb their activity. Okay, open interviews means the answer is not just yes or no. It's like you can give them the question is open ended, means you need to ask this kind of question. WH, where, what, why do you worship this? Let's say they worship snake. Why they worship snake? Okay, what do they give to their god when they worship? Okay, where is it the village? And let's say how their children get education, how they travel to the city to study Mandarin, let's say, or Chinese. So they need to travel by bus or by car. Okay, who are living there? Who are staying there? Maybe just old people or youngsters still staying with their grandparents, let's say. Okay. Then you may do biographical interviews, let's say with the head of the village. Okay, focus group means you gather a group of people together. Let's say just now I said I interviewed those people who use China handphone, right? Who use Huawei, Oppo. So I need to gather them, what age to what age. So I do a group, and then I let them watch YouTube. So it's a focus group. Normally, focus group is 4 person in a group. Besides that, we also can do document analysis. Maybe we can find some old photograph in the temple of the village, the library, the public library of the village or the state. So we get this very important document, then we analyze it. So why should we do participant observation? Because participant observation provides many different types of data. Because you may get beside the document, you can photograph, you can take photograph, you may video, you may interview. So all these are different types of data, and all these are naturally occurring data. Why natural? Because even you there or you without there, the villagers also doing the same thing, the same activity, same festive season, they will do this. Okay, and then this one is I like this word, in-depth data. In-depth data means because you stay there prolonged period, right? You know a little deeper. You stay longer, you know more about that villages. Okay, then okay, then what means contextualized data? Because the context will become clearer and clearer when you stay longer. Contextualized means very broad data. Okay, so participant observation will help you because you do observation first. This one is like a pre-study before you carry out your interview or survey studies. So will be pretty easy for you later. So observation is preparation before you do your interview. And then it's easier for you to interpret your result because you already observed them for a long period. Okay, so these are the features of participant observation. First, because we gain access to that village, then we participate with our background, our skills, how we manage our first impression to the people. Okay, then we observe them. What means observe? Means we use our eyes, our ears, we smell some things. What's their food there of the villagers? Okay, what's the food of the feast? The feeling, how's our feeling when we in the village? Maybe we feel very happy, very excited during the festival. And what's the food taste? How's the food taste after? Okay, and then last of the observation is the question. How we pose question. 帮我拍照也是哦，一两个。Okay, the question we propose to them. Okay, so just now we said we participate as our background, right? Every researcher have different background. Let's say I'm this Chinese girl. So so my background is a Chinese and I'm a female. So I'm a middle class, okay? So we cannot you are an Indian woman. So this is your background, your age, your gender, your ethnicity. This one we cannot change or pretend. I cannot pretend to be an Indian woman, even I wear sari. Okay, so this one is our background. So we just naturally join in the village. Okay, our setting, and then the skills. So we need to brush our skills. Let's say, okay, let's say you need to come to this Chinese village, right? If you study Mandarin before, first you study Chinese, maybe basic Chinese language in YouTube before you coming to this village, so you able to communicate with the villagers easier. Okay, okay, maybe just some phrases if you're not in time to take a Chinese language course. Mimic. Okay, let's say I'm going to an Indian village, so I watch Bollywood movies, Bollywood movies first or Hindi movies. I need to like study the head, how to mimic, right? So it will be better to mix with the villagers in, let's say, in India. Okay, and then we need to have explicit attention, means we need to give our attention to the villagers when they tell us some stories. Okay, we also need to train our memory. Sometimes we're not in time to jot down the few notes, right? So we have to try to remember something like some direction of some places or the villagers, their face. Okay, recognize their face. Okay, and we need to stay naive as a participant researcher. Be fresh and open. Like we see something new, we might say, wow, wow, so exciting. So just to like respect the people, your group of the people you need to interview. Okay, and then we detach ourselves. We are not them. So we need to detach a bit, but we must stay involved with them. Okay, like they ask us to join something, we should just agree to join in because we need to study. And then we need to analyze in order to interpret the data. Lastly is the writing skills. Okay, I guess that's all from me. Is yeah. So Shukriya. Uh, I will show you, sorry, I will show you one of my one of my sample of the little ethnography study, which I did before and I presented in China in 2015. So yeah, I hope to learn more from you all, expert from India. So this one is Peranakan Chinese community in one of the village in Kelantan. So this is my university. We are east coast part of Malaysia, border of Thailand. So when I present my slide, this one I did in Mandarin because I present in China. So I will show them where's the map of this place, the historical document. Okay, then yeah, if you heard before in Malacca, in Penang, and yeah, where they stay. That just now I said about the setting, right? The place of the place which the space we research. So we need to tell them who are staying there. There are 40 groups of people staying there. So where's the map? Here is Thailand. So here is Kelantan. So my university is stated here, Kota Baru. So it's just border of Thailand. Okay, here we are the beach side. Okay, so there are a few islands here. Yeah, welcome to visit Malaysia. And yeah, this is the village I went. So it's Pulau Raya. Okay, so I stated the date. When did I went to participate in their activities? So what's the characteristic of the people that their name is special, like similar to Malay name. They are Chinese, but their name similar to Malay. So this one is I went to interview and visited this old man. Is 98 years old that time. Now he's no more. He passed away few years ago. So this is their costume, like Malay wear. And the space I said, right, we need to see the house. What's their house look like? What's the village look like? So they are still staying like the wooden house. And then, but they are practicing a traditional Chinese culture, like writing the red words, good words on their door, left and right, and then in the center of their living room. Okay. Okay, and this outside the house is the washroom. Okay, so this old man is old but quite strong. He can still walk around, do some simple farming activities. So this is another old man, another house I visited. Okay, this is the worship altar in his house in the living room. So you can see he's not he's quite poor lah. I can say he's quite poor. The setting of the house, not much furnitures. Okay. So the language. So what's their language? They are using some 3-in-1 language: Malay, Chinese Hokkien, and also Thai language because they have ancestors from Thai. Okay, this is example of their language. And then what they eat and drinks. And then their house, it look like traditional Malay house. Yeah, this is Malay house. If Chinese normally in Malaysia, seldom stay in house like this already. It's already like a condo, apartment, or terrace house. This one is a traditional village house. So they have big compound, they have underground like garage to store their farming products. Okay, so there are stairs because there might be flood the end of the year. Okay, flood in the and the every year end lah, November. Normally it's December, end of December. So this is the space of their house. This old man, 98 years old. So he showed me his house. So I took a camera there. So their belief. So this is the altar in their living room. Okay, so they write this. So all houses practicing the same culture. So you see, they pray by lighting up the candle. So all their ancestors remains they put there, and they will pray to their ancestor during the big season, like festive season, like Chinese New Year, Lantern Festival, or the winter solstice season. So normally they will put their ancestors photograph on the wall of their living room. So they will put calendar, lunar calendar, to see the date, what kind. So this one, old photos. This one, another house, the second respondent's house. Just now, the second house. So slightly different on the color of the wall. You see, this one is deeper color. This one is lighter color, and they have lantern. So this is how they arrange their house. So this one is another event I told you. I joined their event. Okay, after they invite me. So you can see, okay. So if you interview many people, if you get the same thing, then your data is saturated, then you can stop interview because you get all the same point already. So you might stop, and then you come out with this. Okay, after saturation, you organize your data into database, analyze the data to find patterns among all these people, all these villages. And then the third one is you synthesis the data to find the key patterns. So you do like that. Okay, how they react. So like you go to 50 houses. Okay, what their action, what they do every day, daily. House 1, house 2, house 3, house 4, their actions, what the event they celebrate. Okay, how's the living room look like, which god they are praying, spaces, what's their house look like. So you jot down all here, what's the objects in their house, okay, in their houses, the timing of when you interview them. So the timing, like which month, which date, you need to write down what time. Okay, what's the goals or objective? Okay, you can see their emotion, why they celebrate that festival, and then their emotions you jot down. So you come out with this database. So basically, is your conclusion of your research. So lastly, okay, this is the Mid-Autumn, like I said, today is the Mid-Autumn Festival. We eat moon cakes. Okay, what I noticed in this is they are Chinese, but they write in Malay language. Okay, because they acculturation to the Malay people in the village. So you can see, this is a picture when they do the activities. They even dance some Malay dance in the Chinese festivals. Yeah. Why? Why is it? So you need to interview why they dance, they do this dance. But you see, this one is Chinese culture, but this one is Malay or Thai culture. Okay, so this one, Siamese culture, the Thai, their dance. Why they mix? Okay. Okay, so you can come up with assimilation or acculturation of the villages. Okay, this is the one I cite, Newton Gordon, the life in America. Okay, so thanks for your time and attention. Yeah, thank you, Doctor.
Dear, thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Thanks, Dr. Ginu. Do anyone like interested in this type of research? Yeah.
Dr. Julia, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, my name is Harun Ibrahim. I'm from Ghana.
Hi.
My question, yes. Thank you very much for the presentation. This is my first time having a presentation on ethnography. I've never had any presentation like that, so it is really an eye opener for me. I have really concur with your presentation meticulously from the start to finish, and I really like your presentation. In your presentation, when you got to the there were various groups that you got to where you made mention of focus group, where you said they should be made up of maximum of four people. I wanted to find out is that the blueprint, or it can be increased, or what is the maximum number of members that should form focus group discussion? Thank you.
From what I read before is normally it's 4, but maximum, if I'm not mistaken, is 20%.
20%.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any parameters that, as a researcher, before you choose your focus group discussion, you should take the number in consideration? Any parameter you have to take into consideration? One, in terms of the type of the research that you want to do. Two, in terms of the location of the research you want to do. Three, in terms of the study area you want to do. Is there anything that you have to take into consideration depending on the parameter that I made mention of earlier?
Yeah, I found that a data is the ideal size of a focus group is 8 to 10 subjects plus a facilitator and a note taker. So if a larger group will limit the detail of some response, because if the group is too large, you can't focus on the interviewee responses.
Okay. Can I ask the next question?
Sure.
Can I ask the next question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So what you made mention of 8 to 10 subjects so that you don't have difficulties. I want to find from you, in choose your focus group discussion, what are the possible merits? One, and what are the possible demerits of that focus group discussion that you choose for your research? You did not presentation. You didn't highlight on this one. So that's why I want to ask you.
You mean
What are the merits?
the
Challenges.
merits means challenges. Okay. You mean if the people is too little or too many, what's the challenges, is it?
Yes, please.
Yeah, if the people is too less, your data is not is not rich. Yeah, because you need to find like different age group. Let's say of my research, I need to find people with different occupation, different income. So that will make my data richer. Like if lower income people, which phone will they choose? What kind of range of the phone, what kind of function of the phone will they choose? If people are professional, what kind of phone they will choose? Yeah, that's my experience, my little experience.
Any other questions, dear participants? Thank you, Dr. Julia Tan, in for your insightful and informative presentation.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you.